Welcome back to SBR Forum Videos. The Cleveland Cavaliers are obviously the runaway odds-on favorite here to win the NBA championship as well as the Eastern Conference, of course, this season. But how important is it that they bring back Tristan Thompson? There's been a lot of news on Thompson here as of late. He was offered a 5-year, $80 million deal earlier in the offseason, but talks reportedly broke down. Now the Cavs have spent a ton of money this offseason, and bringing him back on that deal, or any deal potentially bigger than that on a max contract, as LeBron James has said that they should give young Tristan Thompson, could mean huge luxury tax bills for the Cleveland Cavaliers this season. It's very interesting also to note that Thompson has said that he could potentially, and his agent has said through him, I guess, that he's potentially willing to play this year on the qualifying offer of about $6.8 million. It'd be a big raise for the young man drafted 4th overall a few years ago from last year. However, would also be a huge risk turning down $80 million over the next 5 years, even if he has a good season in 2015-2016, because of obviously the big salary cap increase next season that could put him in line for a huge payday as well. However, right now, really interesting because most guys really turn down the qualifying offer and accept deals anyways, and probably don't. And he's also a restricted free agent, so even if he did sign somewhere else this offseason, the Cavs can match anything that he would get on the open market, and not a lot of teams have the money to offer him more than $80 million over the next 5 years. In fact, Portland would be the only real team that would have any chance of signing him at a max deal, and they're probably not too interested even after losing LaMarcus Aldridge. But the Cavs would be on the hook for about $16.5 million in luxury tax money next season if he only signs the qualifying offer. However, if they sign him to a max deal, the Cavs would be paying about $45 million in luxury tax. That's a huge jump and a huge payday, a huge price to pay for just Tristan Thompson. Remember, they re-signed Kevin Love. Assuming he's healthy, he's going to be the starting power forward of this team. They also re-signed Timofey Mozgov to a 1-year deal. That puts Thompson as the 3rd best big man on this roster. He may still be almost as good as Mozgov, but if he only has a marginal season coming off the bench and limited minutes, his value could go down, and he could probably even get less than $80 million over 5 years next season, even with the salary cap increases. So, huge game of chicken going on between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Tristan Thompson. I personally don't think Thompson is that important to the Cleveland Cavaliers, at least in their future odds chances of winning a championship, but he is really important, obviously, as we saw, if Kevin Love goes down. He's also given the Bulls absolute fits every time they seem to play one another. And of course, Chicago is probably going to be the big battle here between Cleveland and Chicago for the Eastern Conference next season. Really only team that has at least a credible shot of knocking off Cleveland, I think, in the Eastern Conference. So big game of chicken, as I said, between Tristan Thompson and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Risky move for both sides, however this turns out, whether Thompson accepts the qualifying offer or whether he signs a big money deal, because it could be a lot of money here coming out of Dan Gilbert's pocket regardless. So that'll do it for me this time. Make sure you keep an eye on this situation because it could have an effect on the Cleveland Cavaliers' future odds this offseason. But until next time, for SBR Forum Videos, I'm Jordan Sharp.